would have come through here in the daytime. But night should be pretty good as well. I remember years ago when I first bought my first truck and started coming through here, I used to enjoy this part of the trip coming through. I really couldn't tell you why, but I always thought it was cool coming through here. I used to pick up stuff out of Pennsylvania, Altoona, Pennsylvania, and then run it down to Southgate, California. And I just thought this was a pretty ride. So I set the cameras up, one facing one way, one facing the other. I know the inside camera that you listen to me with, I know that camera doesn't do so well in the dark inside the truck at night. I used to leave Pennsylvania and get through Ohio, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois. And I would try to get into Missouri before my first overnight. Sometimes I'd stay at that pilot that didn't used to be a pilot. But oftentimes I would push on to get in. Sometimes I make it down to like Rolla. There's a rest area in the middle. I forget what mile marker. Sometimes I'd wind up in there. After that, I would try to make it from here all the way to Amarillo, Texas, or farther. Carry was always the goal. But I feel make it from Amarillo all the way out to Southgate. That was the hardest part of the whole run. But you could go a lot faster. But how about that view right there? That's what I wanted. I don't know if you can see that tugboat pushing them barges down there. Right close to us. But that's the view I wanted. Railroad bridge on the left side of the truck. So this is where we're gonna 55 south and then we'll jump on 44 west. Just like I used to. It's been a long time. It's a route, now that I'm with Widmeyer, I very rarely go this way. Tulsa. Well, welcome to St. Louis. The wind died down. Man, it was real windy through the majority of Illinois. Since the sun went down, it got a lot better. Them days running when I had my first truck. Oh, that's pretty. Check out the cranes lit up with the red and the blue. Or rather, the cranes are red and there's a blue thing on the building in front of it. Still pretty. Yeah, I miss those days, you know. My first attempt as an owner-operator failed miserably, but I guess I enjoyed it. Saw a lot of cool stuff, learned a lot. That's for sure, I learned a lot. Wanted to have a big rooster cruiser, didn't have the kind of budget, but I had my own truck. Always ran a CB all the time, and them were different days. Hard to believe I'm old enough to have that kind of difference. FSC Trucking. Woke up this morning in a rest area over by Springfield, Missouri. We've got our Pierce fire truck out in the back right there. That's going to Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's where we're bringing that. So we got to get rolling this morning and get this thing moving from this rest area. Found me a little parking space, kinda. And a funny story last night, middle of sleeping. Let me go ahead and show you the fire truck first, show you what we got going on here load-wise, and what we're doing. So we loaded this yesterday up in Wyowega, Wisconsin. That's where they send the fire trucks to get fixed if they're damaged or refurbished. Sometimes you don't want to get brand new and they'll want to refurbish them, or they've been in a wreck or a crash or some kind of battle damage done to them, and then they'll send them up there to get repaired. So now this unit's been repaired. It's going back to Tulsa to do its firefighting thing. So there it is in all its glory. Let's check that thing out. It's pretty cool. Serving Tulsa since 1900. That fire department been around that long? That's amazing to me. Some stuff's just cool. This is one of the many things that just are straight up cool. Let's see if you can tell the funny part of the story yet. I'll tell you here in a minute. We'll get Orwell started first before I start getting into the funny part of my morning. Imagine knowing how to work all this. Imagine if you actually knew what you were doing. It's pretty simple. But man, oh man, look at all that. That's cool. There's not much cooler than a fire truck, is there? Especially Cabovers. I'm not gonna lie, I really love to try to drive. Maybe somebody can help me make that happen. I'd love to try to drive one where you got the steering wheel in the back to dog track around the trailer, like a hook and ladder truck, you know, where they go around the tight corners and the rear axle of the trailer is steerable. I bet that'd be cool. I'd love to try to drive something like that. All right, let me show you something else in this fire truck I noticed. I know I'm a little squirreled this morning. Not a big deal. Didn't get the best sleep last night. Woke up, it was raining, pouring. You see the parking lot behind me is wet, and it's chilly now. When I got in here, it was like, glad to have the air conditioner working. And then went to bed and woke up, glad to have the heat working. But check this out, when I tied this truck down, it was nighttime. I didn't really talk about it in the last video. But this is an interesting thing. You can tell me what it is. So I'm gonna assume this is some kind of a brake. Anybody ever see this before? It's on the drive shaft going into the diff. It's like a brake rotor, like some kind of electromagnet, or does that actually contact the rotor electrically, pushing the rotor forward, or is that a magnet? To me, that looks like magnets to me. But does something come out of the middle and push against that rotor? I wouldn't think so, because there's no clamping action on the other side, the forward side. To me, that's pure magnetic, right? That must be some kind of a pinion brake or something. Either that or it helps to generate electricity, but to me that rotor looks like a brake rotor, so I'm imagining it has more to do with stopping than it does the generation or anything else for that matter. So with that, we got the green APU running. Remember I was mentioning the heat and air conditioning a little bit ago? Well, there you go. I got the APU tucked up right behind that forward axle right there. Right in front of the fuel. Oh, you can't even see it from that angle. Sorry about that. There you go, running in all its glory. I don't know why, but they sound louder on the microphone in the videos than they do in person. If you ever see this truck out running, just walk over to it and see. You see other ones out on the road. But point being, it runs the heat, runs the air, and in the wintertime, it also keeps the engine warm so you don't get one of those big smoky cold starts. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is shut the APU down, fire up the primary engine. It's a big Caterpillar 3406B. That's what keeps me cool, it's what keeps me warm. The green APU, not the Caterpillar, that don't work at all. Well, the heat does kinda. Actually does okay for a Cabover, could be better. Either way, let's fire them up and get going. And then I'll show you what's kinda funny. What happened last night was, went to bed, like I said, it was humid, a little hot, not terrible, and fired up the green APU, had the air running, and then it started raining, like, I don't know, sometime middle of the night, I didn't check the time, just woke up to this tunk, 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 tunk on the roof, and then it started pouring. And then when it would slow down from raining real hard, you'd hear this tunk, tunk, tunk real hard knock on the roof, and I started wondering, I actually thought something was dripping inside the truck. And then I realized, no, I'm parked under a tree. No, I'm not parked under a tree. So figure, with a slight little bit of wind, look at that. With a slight little bit of wind, anything dripping off that street light up there, just lands right on the sleeper. So all night, while that thing dripped right above my head. Thunk, 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 thunk. Yeah, not the most entertaining rainfalls ever. But once it finally quit, it quit dripping, and then I went back to bed and was all right. So, didn't get my typical uninterrupted beauty sleep, as plain as you can tell. I did not get my beauty sleep. Look at me, I don't ever get beauty sleep. Face for radio, right? Alrighty, well, Orwell's getting aired back up. Actually, doesn't drop air that much anymore now, to be honest, but it comes down a little bit, so in a little bit it'll pop off. We're bringing up the trailer as we speak. We'll set up the GoPros. They scribble in my logbook, get that caught up just in case, and then get strolling. We got to drop that off in Tulsa, and then we got a dump truck to pick up. That is confirmed, and that goes back from Kansas back up to Hatley, Wisconsin. So I don't know if that's gonna be this video or next video. We'll figure it out, but it's a dump truck in our future. Let's get at it. People always ask me, Steve, what do you do with your flat top stacks when it rains? Well, it rained last night. Let me go ahead and show you. Orwell needs a regen. Regen complete, time to roll. Believe it or not, I got this milk from the vending machine inside there. $3, no, $2.85 for this. The orange juice, they wanted $3.15. You got the milk from a vending machine. That's actually reasonable compared to a truck stop. Now this is left over from last night. All right. Watch, I'll show you. Like, subscribe. I already hit the high idle. All right, I showed you how to do it. Let's get it done now. This is an interesting little rest area. Most of the parking's all tucked away in the back. I know it's kind of goofy because did they think people come through with their cars, with their picnic baskets, like, oh, let's have a picnic at the rest area, and then set up these little picnic groves here. I guess if you're a driver, you come through here, it'd be all right, but you gotta remember to pack it all in. But it's kind of cute. I just think that they overdid it a little. They made it look like little stores, like a little storefront. Like I said, it's cute, but you really think like 5 or 6 people are gonna come in here in the middle of the summer and be like, oh, let's go have a picnic. Set up a nice little picnic basket and all that. Yeah, it makes you wonder. But it's a decent parking area nonetheless, so. Missouri's not known for its rest areas. It's normal when it's cold like this. Put it in gear and then drop the splitter. Once it warms up, I won't need to do it no more. That'll be the last time, because I'll stop for a while. A subscriber stopped by. I was getting ready to get rolling there and set up the cameras. Came by with his little doggy. Little dog had to go potty. Of course, I was parked right next to the dog's potty, aka the grass. So So a little doggy had to go potty, so we walked over and said hi. Told me back in the day his dad used to drive a truck just like this one, and his dad put his 5 kids up in the truck, you know, bounce all up back in the air to bed, and I'd drive all around, kind of regional area. They bounce around all over this area with the kids in the back of the truck. And I'm like, that sounds like, if you were a kid, to me, that sounds like a blast. Like, that has to be awesome memories. Like, I got real cool memories of my dad when I was little. Mostly around a Ford pickup truck and a travel trailer and a boat, but when I was really little, yeah. I don't remember sitting in the spokes of the wheel on the steering wheel of my dad's Ford truck. But I remember him doing it with my sister. I was too big, so I couldn't fit. I'd sit right in the steering wheel. The steering wheel was like more like that. You'd sit in the steering wheel and you'd hold on to the wheel, and Dad would go like that on, like, you know, back roads and stuff. I thought it was fun. I'd sit in the middle, right next to my dad, between my mom and my dad in the center of the truck. It was a stick shift, so I'd grab the shifter and I'd shift it for him. He would hit the clutch and tell me what to do. Then when I was big enough to reach the pedals, sitting in the center, I had to do it with my left foot, but Dad would have me work the throttle. And that was like cruise control going down the highway. And then as I got better at that, he'd have me work the throttle, he'd work the clutch, and I'd work the shifter. That was in a 1977 Ford F-150. Matter of fact, if you look at the back of my shop, there's a blue hood. That's the hood from that truck. That's the only surviving piece of that truck. I always wanted to make a sign and put it in the back of the shop. Things ended on that note very badly. So, I don't talk about them too much no more. It's a bit painful, to be honest. Bulls for sale. Wanna buy a bull? Shop.
Forgive the interruption with my voiceover. And yes, I've been sick recently, so my voice is not very good. But GoPros are particularly very susceptible to problems. They are a damn good camera, however, they are susceptible to problems, and this particular one started failing, and it will affect the next handful of videos that I filmed out on the road. The audio would break out, hence you have no audio from the video footage, but you now have a voiceover from me. I feel like there's a few things that happened in this trip that I wanted to show, but I'm going to have to voice over and explain. Here we go. I'm going to do my best. Hopefully it works out.
We are not going down that road.
What happened was I entered the address wrong in my GPS on my phone. Now I use Google Maps. I don't have a trucking specific route guidance GPS system. I refuse to buy one. I just simply think if you have GPS, Google Maps, and a brain, you could easily tell that isn't the road. It might be labeled the right road, but it's clearly not. So therefore, you're going to have to pull over, figure it out, and readdress your situation, make more phone calls, call your dispatcher, whichever, figure it out. But obviously that's not the right road. So I decided to go down the road, and I find a place to pull over. And when I pull over, I find out that I'm in a pretty sketchy, old, abandoned part of town.
The ice cream parlor right in front of us. Alright, let's figure out what I did wrong here. Right, alright. Meanwhile, I'm over here trying to figure out where in the hell this fire truck actually goes, because the address given, I mistyped the address, I'm in the wrong spot, and now I can't, even the right address isn't right. Now I'm trying to figure out where the f this thing's supposed to go. So, yep. Yeah, the fire truck I'm dropping. I'm in Tulsa, I just gotta find the right spot. So, yeah, so I'll be empty here not too much longer, I imagine. Yeah, but it's not showing up as Tulsa. Conrad Fire Equipment. Oh, damn it. Fucking thing. Well, the address on the damn paperwork is 1320 West 14th Street, Building D. That don't even look close to right. Yep. It's accurate. I just found it, yeah, because I looked on Google Maps, it looked wrong because there's another tenant in the building. I found an article that they just opened this joint. Yeah, I got it. All right, so I'm like not 10 minutes out. Yep. All right. All right, there's that. Then one thing, it's another. I don't know how many videos this is going to be. Get the other damn cameras.
One thing I do before I start filming a video is I try to think about where I should start and stop a video. If I don't know, I film multiple intros. So at this point I thought maybe that's one day of driving and another day of delivering. So I decided I would start a video right here, trying to show that this is the process of when you screw up, where your address is, this is how you go about it. So now I'm doing the typical walk around, where I'm at, why am I here, what am I hauling, what am I doing, because some people started with this video. They might not have started a video or two ago. So here we are showing the fire engine, what we have, what's going on, and more specifically now is content part of it. Where are we and why are we here? Why are we literally in an abandoned gas station in not the best part of Tulsa? You look behind me, I'm showing that there's car parts on the ground from a previous crash. If you can see the person over there sitting at the edge of the embankment, just sitting there with nothing going on. One thing I always tell everybody, I even taught my children this, always be aware of your surroundings. Now, I'm not saying this is a really bad part of town compared to some areas I've been in. This place is actually quite G-rated and tame. But always know your surroundings. I see the person behind me walking towards me, and I know I'm about to get asked for either money or something. God only knows. This is why I don't walk around with earbuds. I never put any kind of earbuds or earphones in my ear, especially when I'm sleeping or resting or walking in public. But I caught the person coming up behind me and just wanted a cigarette, nothing big. But nonetheless, I watched this person, they're kind of doing like a meth lab type dance later on as I'm setting up my cameras to get out of here. So this is definitely not a spot I want to be. obviously I want to be at the location where I'm supposed to drop off this fire truck. So now I open up the door, set up my cameras, and get ready to roll. I start backing up and I'm trying to determine how do I want to get out of here. I'm really looking to that escape route right there to my left, right where that red spillage arch goes off to the left. I'm thinking about that, but I'm not 100%. It looks like there might be an easier way to go if I go around the building. You can see you can see immediate to the right of my truck, there's the abandoned gas pumps where they used to be. And at the corner of the building, you see to the right of my truck, you see the old garage. In fact, so now I'm directly over where the gas pumps were. You see that little pit right there to the right? That used to be the shop for that little station. Now I'm trying to determine, can I go out towards the right, go around the red building, or do I make my left? I was going to make my left, but I don't want to bottom out. Ultimately, I back up again over where the gas pumps used to be. You see the building off to the right, what it used to be. It's just a foundation. But on the left side of that foundation, like I said, that used to be where the garage was. You can see that oval shape directly to the right of my truck. Again, that's where the gas pumps used to be. So right up the hump, before I go down it, I try to find the smoother transition between what used to be a property boundary line, or property boundary. I want to make my turn as wide as possible because I started noticing the power lines or telephone wires or anything coming from the telephone pole to the building. Now I'm sure they aren't going to be tall enough, but how often do semis go through here to test it? Of course, I stand out at the car wash, pretty much like a sore thumb. That's okay. I noticed that black loopy wire at the lowest part of that phone pole. I'm a little nervous about it, so I creep under. From this camera angle, it looks like I have plenty of room, but I wasn't wanting a chance. We'll go slow, look in the mirror, watch it clear the stacks, and then go on. Alrighty, home free. Just gotta make my left on this road right here. Left at this green light, back up the hill where we started at. Now at the top of this hill, that's where I had put the pin at the wrong place. Now this is on the north side of downtown Tulsa. Where we're going is on the south side. It's amazing how much a little bit of difference makes. But it's about a 10-mile run. We'll be there shortly. Got out of the jam, didn't hang up, didn't hurt nothing. Didn't hurt the fire truck any. Down the road we go.